Hi friends, this is Raphael Ahavi, and today I want to share something very interesting with you, and I would like you to like our page, subscribe, and share this discussion that we'll be having right now, and you will really enjoy this. I'm working on one interesting book of mine called The Road to Glory is Self-Government. The Road to Glory is Self-Government. So today I just want to just explain and mention the outline of the book and other videos that will follow. We will go deeper into the book. Yeah, so this book is one of my favorites, which is The Road to Glory is Self-Government. So the purpose, introduction, the idea of self-government, the idea of self-governed yourself. So today I just want to just explain some the outlines of the book. What is self-government? I'm not going to dive into it today, but those are some of the things that you'll be expecting in this discussion and in the book. What is self-government? And why nations fail when individuals refuse to rule themselves. Why nations fail when individuals refuses to rule themselves. These are very interesting discussion that we'll be having in this podcast. 2. Freedom without discipline is chaos. A freedom without discipline is chaos. You can believe this with me, that if you look at many of our nations that preaches freedom without discipline, you can expect that chaos is inevitable. Those of us who travel around the nation and look at other nations that are more into freedom, and we can publicly and boldly say that there is a lot of chaos in those nations. So those are some of the things that you'll be expecting in the book. Why liberty without inner law destroys society. Why liberty without inner law destroys society. Liberty without inner law destroys society. 3. Before you lead others, you must lead yourself. Before you lead others, you must lead yourself. Self-government is all about leading yourself first before you think about leading any other person or woman. You must lead yourself. The hidden lie in our modern leadership culture, the hidden lie in our modern leadership culture. Before you lead others, you must lead yourself. 4. Self-government versus external control. Self-government versus external control, where laws fail, where character is absent. These are very interesting discussion that we will be having. Why laws in our countries, in our continents as an Africans, fails, where character is absent. So expect more detail in this discussion. 5. The first government is the mind. The first government that God or Creator has given to human nature is the mind. It's your mind. Your mind is your first government, not politicians. How thought becomes habit, habit becomes nation. How thought becomes habit, and habit becomes nation. It's habit that becomes nation. So every nation you visit is the habit that make the nation, and it's the habit that describe how those people think and believe and what is happening in those nations. 6. Why African crisis is not resources crisis. Why African crisis is not resources problem. It is self-governance problem. African crisis is a self-governance problem. And I'm going to explain into details in this book. Yeah. How we can also self-govern ourselves and our resources very well to benefit the citizens of our continent of Africa. Part 2, purpose. Teach inner leadership. Teaching inner leadership. 7. Self-governing the mind. Governing the mind. What you allow to live in your thinking rules your life. What you allow to live in your thinking rules your life. So it's not everything you have to allow into your thinking, because the moment it sits there long enough, it begins to control you, it begins to rule you, it begins to dictate to you. So governing the mind, you have to govern your mind. You have to govern your mind. I'm talking about the outlines of my book called The Road to Glory is Self-Government. The road to glory is self-government. Principle 8, governing your desires. Governing your desires. Where uncontrolled appetite destroys destiny. Why uncontrolled appetite destroys destiny. If you don't control your appetite, your destiny will be destroyed. So we have to self-govern ourselves in so much that we control our desires for things that we want to do and the things that will destroy us. We have to know what is good for us and what is not good for us. So governing your desire. Why uncontrolled appetite destroys your destiny. Principle number 9, discipline. The forgotten virtue. Discipline, the forgotten virtue. Discipline is one of the things that God has given to humanity. You can discipline yourself against any other odds. Where talent without discipline collapses. Talent without discipline will collapse and cannot succeed. You can be very intelligent, very eloquent, very good, but if you are not disciplined, you are going nowhere. Discipline, the forgotten virtue in our society, and discipline must come back to our society. 10. Principle number 10. Time as a moral responsibility. Time as a moral responsibility. How wasting time is a failure of self-government. You must not waste time. You must know exactly what to do each day, each time, what you want to achieve. You have to plan your time. That is self-government. And I'm going to dive into it in powerful, very interesting way in this interesting book, The Road to Glory is Self-Government. So time as a moral responsibility. How wasting time is a failure of self-government. Don't waste time. Don't waste your time on any unnecessary things. Okay? 11. Emotional self-rule. Emotional self-rule. Why anger, envy, and bitterness reign your life, reign your relationship, reign your marriage, reign your family. Emotional self-rule. Why anger, envy, and bitterness reigns leadership. That is 11. 12. Principle 12. Integrity as inner law. Integrity as inner law. Why no leader rises above their private life? Why no individual rises above their private life? Integrity as inner law. Integrity is very, very important for us to walk in high places. 13. Consistency over motivation. Consistency over motivation. Many of us waiting for motivation. Yes, motivation sometimes when people speaks to you, motivates you, strengthens you, you get new energy. Is very important, but consistency over motivation is very, very important. Why self-government outlives inspiration? Why self-government outlives inspiration? When you self-govern yourself, you can outlive you don't need motivation, so much motivation to accomplish your vision and your task of life. Consistency, 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 consistency. 14. The cost of self-indulgence. The cost of self-indulgence. What pleasure today become poverty tomorrow? Why pleasure today becomes poverty tomorrow? You always want to be excited, want to be happy, want to, eat well, live well, do all the things, and later on, it will become your poverty. All right? So pleasure today, poverty tomorrow. Self-government yourself. I'm just explaining these principles in my masterpiece, The Road to Glory is Self-Government. government. And just mentioning the principles that I will be explaining detail into this book. So as time goes on, subsequent videoing, I will read much into details in the book to explain much more for us. So today I'm just sharing some of these principles. So I want you to take this very seriously. Self-government and society. Purpose: connect the individual to nation building. We must connect individuals in our nations to nation building. Our leaders alone, our parliamentarians alone, our chiefs and elders alone cannot build our society. All of us as a country and as a people must be part of the building blocks of our society. That is what we grow up seeing. Some of us, we are very young, but we have grow up in the villages and we know how our elders cooperate together in communal living to build our societies. But today, that virtue is leaving our country. So that must come back in our society. So families collapses where self-rule is absent. Families collapses when self-rule is absent. Why broken homes produces broken society? Why broken homes produces broken society? When now there is no family structure and our homes are being broken and our society is being broken as well. So I will be explaining this into detail, what we need to do as a family, as a society, so that we can gain back our image as an Africans. 16, self-government and youth failure. Self-government and youth failure. Why young people fail without inner structure. Why young people fail without inner structure. Because those inner structures of the young people are built from the family background, from the society in which they grow up in. But today, those structures are no longer there. So self-government and youth failure. Why young people fail without inner structure. 17. Self-government and corruption. Self-government and corruption. These are very interesting things. You know, corruption is a character issue before it is a legal one. Corruption is a character issue before it's a legal one. The reason why many people becomes corrupt in public life is because the character wasn't built into them before they occupy public office. So when they get the opportunity to become the finance minister, when they get the opportunity to become the minister of roads, the minister of moon and stars, the minister of whatever systems, they see it as an opportunity to enrich themselves and their families. So it's a character issue that we as an African have to deal with. We have to start building that character into the young people who will become the leaders tomorrow. 18. Why laws can't fix moral collapse. Why laws can't fix moral collapse. You can make millions of laws, but it can't fix the character issue if we haven't built it intentionally into our young people, into all of us. If we haven't do that intentionally, laws that we make cannot fix that. The limit of constitution and courts, they are limits of constitutions and courts. They are limits. Let's go back into our old African culture, how we build those morals and those virtues into our children and into every one of us. Let us go back. There is a limit in constitution. Lawyers are not doing us much favor. The laws that lawyers and parliament is making can only work when the home, the society, is part of building this constitution into the society. 19. Religion without self-government is hypocrisy. Religion without self-government is hypocrisy. While faith without discipline produces noise, not transformation. Faith without discipline produces noise, not transformation. So, you see, in this book, I will be explaining detail what the church needs to do, because the church is no longer effective. The church is no longer affecting systems and the communities that they live in. So faith without discipline produces noise. You can believe this with me. Yeah, like, share, subscribe, follow us. You will learn more details. Yeah, faith without discipline produces noise, not transformation. What is the church transforming in our society? What is the church as a Christendom or religion as a whole? What is their impact really? 20. Education without character is dangerous. Education without character is very, very dangerous. Yeah, education without character. People will take advantage of other people because they are educated. They will take advantage of systems because they are educated. They will write things to favor themselves because they are educated. Why intelligence alone can destroy a nation? Why intelligence alone can destroy a nation? It's not only intelligence that we need to become a leader. You need a character. You need moral. You need humanity. You need humility. You need to become human. 21. Yeah, I'm just explaining the outlines of my new books that I'm working on. The road to glory is self-government. How we must self-govern ourselves. How we must take our own destiny into our own hands, not in the cruel way, not in a bad way, but to self-govern yourself, knowing what is right, what is wrong, what to do, and what not to do. Leader 21, leadership failure starts in private life. Leadership failure starts in a private life. Any leader that has failed has not failed the time they failed. They fail before they start leadership. So public collapse begins in a secret compromise. Public collapse begins in secret compromise. Before you fail, you have already fell in secret. 22. Why strong nations produces disciplined citizens? Why strong nation produces disciplined citizens? Every strong nation produces strong, disciplined citizens. Order outside reflects order within. Order outside reflects order within. Every nation who want to produce a very good nation, it must produce a disciplined citizens. A disciplined citizens. And that must be inculcated into the school systems, into religious system, into political system, into every system. There must be a discipline. We don't take discipline out of our society. We don't take discipline out of schools. 23. Purpose elevates vision and legacy. Elevates vision and legacy. 23. Glory is the reward of self-government. Glory is the reward of self-government. For you to become very significant, very powerful, very influential, it means that it is the reward of you governing yourself. The glory is the reward of self-government. Why greatness follows discipline? Greatness only follows discipline. If you want to become great, you must be a disciplined young man, a young woman. If you want to become great, you must be disciplined in your vision. You must be disciplined. Glory is the reward of self-government, where greatness follows discipline. All of us want to be great, but become disciplined is very difficult for us. But you must discipline yourself to be disciplined. Discipline yourself to be disciplined. You must discipline yourself to get the glory. 24. Power without self-control is destruction. Power without self-control is destruction. Power without self-control is destruction. While unchecked power reigns leaders, while unchecked power destroys leaders. Power without self-control is destruction. So no matter how powerful you are, no matter how power have been entrusted to you, have been delegated to you, you have to have the self-governed control, self-control, self-control. 25, principle 25. I'm only sharing 30 principles in this book, very powerful, interesting things. In my book, The Road to Glory is Self-Government. So this is a self-government podcast. Like, subscribe, share, and follow us. Let's work together. Let's share ideas together. Let's ask questions so that we can grow together in deep understanding of life. Because I will be sharing deeper principles here that will help us. And it will be very, very interesting. I love what I'm going to be sharing here. So like us and follow us, and you will enjoy it. 25, self-government and wealth. Self-government and wealth. Self-government and wealth. Why money exposes inner character. When money exposes inner character, self-government and wealth. Self-government and wealth. When money exposes character. The reason why money gives you power and also exposes character, because of much attention, much respect that we have put on this thing called money and wealth and riches. The way we respect rich people and disrespect other people who we call poor or who doesn't have. It's something that we have to look at as a society. Every human being deserves respect. Every human being deserves admiration and praise. Every human being deserves significance. And the moment we begin to put so much respect to people who have and disrespect to those who don't have, then we are creating people who, when they now have, they will show the society, they will show the country that they now have. So their character will now be exposed. 26. Delay gratification and national progress. Delay gratification and national progress. Why patient people build lasting nation. Why patient people build lasting nation. Why delay gratification and national progress. In those years, growing up, when you need something from your mother, from your father, or from your grandmother, or from your uncle, they don't just rush and give it to you. They tell you, wait, I will let you know when I have it, and I will give it to you. And you wait, you go there 10 times before they give you what you are asking. But today, when the child cries, I want this, then the parents and the mothers will be rushing too, and that also is contributing into our national development, because now we want everything instant. We want everything fast food. And there is nothing of lasting value is built like that. Delay gratification. If you want to build a business, you have to delay your enjoyment. You have to delay your appetite or pleasure of enjoyment and all kinds of things. And if you want to build a nation, a country, the citizens must understand that we will all pay the price and go through certain struggle before we can have nice roads, nice water, nice electricity, nice schools, and nice hospital. We have to know that we have to delay certain things to have something done. Delay gratification. Yeah. I'm just sharing this, and I'm not going into detail into the book yet. And this is my book. This is Raphael Ahebi, and I'm sharing from my book that I'm working on. I'm preparing extensively, and the name of the book is the Road to Glory is Self-Government And I'm sharing these 30 principles with us today. And I'm in the principle 26, delay gratification and national progress. 27, the tragedy of undisciplined potential. The tragedy of undisciplined potential. Why African loses its brightest mind. Why Africa loses its brightest mind. The tragedy of undisciplined potential. You can be skilled, you can be educated, you can be gifted, but if you don't discipline yourself, your gifts and your talents will become a tragedy. Your potential will become a waste. So you need discipline. 28, principle 28, building a culture of self-government. Building a culture of self-government. In African continent, I'm speaking to Africans and I'm speaking to the world. They're building a culture of self-government. We have to build this intentionally. As fathers, as mothers, as leaders, as church, we must build a culture of self-government. How values become institutions. We must go back to take our values back. We must go back to take our values back, the values of self-government. I have been a self-governed person all my life because there is no parental input. There is no societal input. So I have to build myself to where I am today intentionally. I have to put in more effort. I have to work on myself intentionally. Building a culture of self-government. We have to take values back into Africanness. 29. From inner rule to public rule. From inner rule to public rule. How one disciplined life changes many. From inner rule to public impact. From inner rule to public impact. How one disciplined life changes many. One disciplined life can affect many systems. So imagine that we have 1 million, 20 million people disciplined life in our leadership, in our society. Imagine how our communities will be. From inner rule to public impact. When you govern your inside, when you govern yourself, you will be impactful. You will be impactful. One disciplined life changes many. Principle 30. This is the work I'm beginning and I'm doing. The book is The Road to Glory, a self-government. The road to glory. The road to glory is self-governed yourself. And this is Raphael Ahevi. And I would like you to like our page, share, subscribe, and follow our podcast in Facebook and on YouTube and other platforms. The name of the podcast is the Self-Government Podcast. with Raphael Harvey. The Self-Government Podcast with Raphael Harvey. Last but not the least, on this book and principles that I'm sharing is a call to self-governed generation. A call to self-governed generation. We need a generation that's self-governed themselves, who are not going to wait for any leader, but they know what to do and do it. A call to self-governed generation. This is what we need in our continent. This is what we need in our countries. This is what we need in the world. We are calling back our society, our nation to self-governed, so that next generations can live well and be happy in this world. A call to self-governed generation. Yeah, so thank you for watching today. And this is Raphael Harvey. And I'm just sharing these principles from my book, The Road to Glory is Self-Government. The Road to Glory is Self-Government. And I've shared these principles with you, and I want you to just listen to it and watch it again and again and again, and they become part of you. And I will be sharing more details into this book, and I would like you to follow us, like us, and subscribe, and follow our page, the Self-Government Podcast with Raphael Harvey. And we will be learning together, and we'll be growing together. Thank you once again for watching. See you in the next episode. Thank you.